what are your plans to help reduce budget costs? Someone else says everyone keeps admitting our taxes are high. Great, now what? City taxes have been flat for years. It's the county portion that keeps rising. How do you think we can stop county increases and lower the city portion? And generally, I'm just curious if anyone wants to weigh in on, is the budget, it's a Goldilocks question. Is it too high? Is it too low? Is it just right? If it's too high, what should it be? If it's too low, what should it be? If it's just right, that's okay too. Mr. Cunningham on the budget.
I guess right now the budget is fairly satisfactory. Taxes are always too high. We could always try and make them lower. But right now, I feel that we have a match of city services to the budget. We all have to remember that 7 years ago, it was just 7 years ago, the budget was overspent by $12.5 million. And this city had to restructure, rebuild its budget from scratch. We went from being nearly junk bond status to a AA plus by S&P, which is an extraordinary feat. But there's still more work to be done. There's certainly more work to be done in creating efficiencies in government. And I know we see little things here and there that annoy us, and we need to take care of those issues, because it always makes it seem like we're wasting the hard-earned taxpayer dollars, when really it's just trimming around the edges. What's really going to get us down from a tax perspective is diversifying ourselves away from the expensive residential rateable base. We need more commercial, more retail in Hoboken, because they don't put the kind of demands, kind of pressures on the budget like residential. Notwithstanding, the diversity of residential that we talked earlier, that we want to keep for Hoboken and our growing community, but we have to have more commercial, and that's where it's going to happen in the northwest part of Hoboken.
So the budget. When we look at the budget over 8 years ago to now, the tax levy has gone up every year. 8 years ago, the budget was around 92 million. Now we're at 108 million. When I talk to residents in the 5th Ward, everyone tells me that they don't feel like they're getting what they're paying for. You can't go around and tell people, I can't go to you and say, I'm going to sell you a dozen eggs for $4, and then the next day sell you a half dozen for the same $4 and tell you I kept your taxes flat. That, in essence, is what the city's doing. They're cutting services, and they're booting like crazy, which is why the parking authority generates a $4 million surplus. And then when looking at the bond rating, I totally agree. It's great that our bond rating went up, but then you can't turn around and start spending on that credit card and bond for $141 million. Everyone in this room owes roughly $3,000 due to all the bonding that the city has done. I've actually sat on 2 boards where we did not have the ability to tax our way out of problems. We weren't able to raise rents on residents, and in the charter school, we can't tax our way. So what we did is we came up with creative solutions, and we did it, and we didn't sacrifice services to residents or to the students of the school. So as your councilman, I will make sure we have true efficiencies in the city's budget.